Hello and welcome to the first tutorial of the FrameNet Brazil Web Annotation tool. In this tutorial I'm going to show you the basic menus of the tool, and then in the following tutorials I will be showing you the functions used in each menu for creating frames, creating lexical units, and then annotating them. So if you log in to the WebTool in the test environment, which is test.framenetbr.ufjf.br, you can see the address here. You will see this environment if you are logged in as an admin. So in the admin menu, what you see is basically user management and some other functions regarding the annotation status of sentences and documents, their types, genres, so on and so forth. But we'll be focusing on the other menus here. So namely structure, annotation, reports, grapher, editor, and utilities. The C5 is still in the test version. We'll come back to it later. So before we go to those menus, just see that here what is shown is the database you're working on. So it's a test database. Your status, I have admin status in this test version. The language you're working on. So if you're working in a different language, you should change it here. The WebTool supports several languages. And since this is one of the previous dumps of the FrameNet Brazil database, that is the base of this test version, we have 4 languages: English, Portuguese, Spanish, and French, and also the entry option with no flag, which is the option for you to see the interlingual entry of each structure in the database. Here you have the user option, so you can access your profile, change your password, or log out. So the two most important menus here are structure and annotation. In structure, you create all the database structure needed for performing annotations. So you create frames and lexical units, you create corpora, you create construction if you're doing construction annotation, you create lemmas like seams and word forms, you create query relations and query structure connecting their use in your database. We'll be coming back to that. You create constraints for your constructions and concepts for comparing them across languages, semantic types, groups of relations, types of relations between structures, groups of layers and types of layers, and also textual genres. In the annotation menu, you can annotate in the frame mode, in which you annotate for one given lexical unit, in the construction mode, in which you annotate constructs licensed by a construction, in the corpus mode, in which you annotate full texts, or you can access the layer manager to choose the layers of annotation to be displayed in each screen. In the reports, you access the reports that are freely available and without login, for example, for the frames, for the constructions, and for the corpus annotation. In the grapher, you can see a graphic representation of the relations between the elements in the database, so between frames and constructions, between frames in a given domain, or between constructions. In the editor, you create those relations, so between frames, between constructions and frames, and also between frame elements in the coreness status relations. And in the utilities menu, you have assorted functions such as import a word form for a lexeme, or search a word form, or register one. So the difference here is that when you import, you upload a text file. When you register, you just fill in a form if a given word form is missing. You can also export constructions as feature structures, for example, or import data to the database. So that's it for the first short video. Stay tuned for the next one.